What can I say? The year is almost over and the classic question is back. Do you upgrade your PC or is there an alternative that doesn't require you to trade blood diamonds or your internal organs? Because memory prices are just insane, and I think next year graphic cards will also rise in prices. But what else is there? Today we are looking at GeForce Now. I sacrificed myself for you, did a little bit of scientific gaming, and I'll tell you right away, it can feel surprisingly good, but there are some very real limits. So what is GeForce Now? In short, you stream a gaming session from a data center and play on your own device, and your internet connection decides whether this was a brilliant idea or if you want to throw your modem out of the window. And one important thing, this is not a normal cloud desktop. You don't get a full Windows machine you control, you get a controlled gaming environment. How it works, super quick, you sign up, use the app or your browser, link Steam, Epic or Xbox, pick a supported game and launch it. And no, GeForce Now doesn't give you games for free. You bring your own library, you're renting the hardware session, but you're not buying the games. The free tier is actually a good starting point. You see if it works for you, but depending on the tier, you'll see differences in image quality, queue times, and also limits on how long you can play. To test performance, I went for a wild mix: multiplayer, simulations, and big graphic showcases. Let's start with the good stuff. Marvel Rivals ran really smooth and responsive for me. Input lag was barely noticeable, which is kind of the whole point in a multiplayer arena shooter. I didn't feel like I was at a disadvantage. It can feel surprisingly normal if you ask me. But here's a perfect example of the controlled gaming session limitation. Marvel Rivals can crash when you try to save pictures or videos locally because you don't really have normal access to the system storage. It's not your PC, it's just a gaming session. Cyberpunk 2077 looked absolutely amazing. I ran it on a RTX 5080 profile and the lighting and detail were just beautiful. But I did notice some stutters here and there, and I even had some bigger freeze during a fight. I couldn't reproduce it in a second test run, so this may depend on server load, the game and the connection, but it's still something to keep in mind, especially when you're paying for a premium tier. Expedition 33 was similar, but not as extreme. Gorgeous game, and I did notice some micro stutters from time to time, mostly during fast movements, but it was still playable, it was still enjoyable, just not always perfectly consistent. And then we have City Skylines 2, a game that on my own PC at launch had, let's call it, some character. Actually, it ran pretty well here. Of course, the game has had patches since then, but performance was still impressive and city building was finally fun again. You can use GeForce Now in your browser or through the dedicated app, and for me, the app felt more stable and pleasant overall. By the way, controller support is also included. So is GeForce Now an alternative to owning a gaming PC? Yes and no, because here's what people often misunderstand. Just because the game is rendered in the cloud doesn't mean your device doesn't matter. Your system still needs to decode the video stream smoothly and output it properly, and your internet connection can easily become the bottleneck. For 4K, you'll quickly need around 45 megabit per second downstream, and latency also obviously matters. My latency to the GeForce Now servers were around 14 to 17 milliseconds, and input lag was barely noticeable in this case. But the higher your latency, the more delay you'll feel, and quality can suffer too. So no, you don't need a monster gaming PC, but you do need a stable connection, and if your Wi-Fi is unstable, you'd rather use wired. The nice part is GeForce Now works on a lot of devices: Windows, macOS, Chrome OS, browsers, Android, iOS, Shield, smart TVs and handhelds. Now all of this sounds pretty good, but what about the freedoms you get on a real PC? Modding support is limited. Overall, it's not exactly PC modding paradise. Also, the gaming session does not have a persistent memory, so if you need to render any shaders, you have to do it from scratch again when you start the game at a later point, like it is happening for Marvel Rivals, and it's quite annoying if you ask me. PC VR is currently not supported on GeForce Now, and of course, you can't just play forever. On the highest tier, a single session is limited to around 8 hours, and monthly playtime is limited to 100 hours unless you purchase additional hours. Also, not every title is available. For me, a personal example would be Horizon Zero Dawn or Forbidden West. On the other hand, supported and certified games are usually tested and often come with optimized profiles. So in the end, who is this actually for? Depending on region and promos, this can cost up to around $21.99 per month, and at that point you might ask if saving for a classic PC upgrade is the better move. Personally, I think GeForce Now is great for casual gamers who want good quality without immediately spending a fortune on new hardware. For hardcore gamers who play a lot, the limits can become annoying pretty quickly. In the end, you have to do the math yourself. What would you pay for new PC parts and what would you expect from a service like this? Technically, GeForce Now is solid and it can be a great bridge when games don't run well on your current PC. In that case, a day pass or short-term option can honestly be the smarter move. So what do you think? Could this replace a real gaming PC, or is it just a way to buy some time before your next upgrade? One more thought for the long term: with GPU capacity being in high demand for different industries right now, like AI for example, I wouldn't be surprised if cloud gaming gets more expensive over time. Not guaranteed, just a possibility to keep in mind. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.